Before we dive into the world of global trade and high-tech semiconductors, let's take a moment to clarify a key concept that shapes international commerce every day: the tariff. Tariffs are more than just a buzzword in the news. They're a fundamental part of how countries interact and compete on the world stage. Imagine you're at a store, picking up a toy car that was manufactured overseas. It looks just like any other toy, but its journey to your hands is shaped by international rules and government policies. When that toy car arrives in your country, the government might add a special tax to its price. This is what we call a tariff. It's a fee placed on imported goods, and it can affect everything from toys to electronics to food. The main goal of a tariff is to make imported products more expensive so that locally made goods seem more attractive to shoppers. This can help encourage people to buy products made in their own country, supporting local jobs and industries. Tariffs serve a dual purpose. They protect domestic businesses from foreign competition and also generate revenue for the government, which can be used for public services or infrastructure. Sometimes tariffs are about more than just money. They're about security. Governments may use tariffs to reduce dependence on foreign suppliers for essential goods, especially in industries that are vital for national safety or economic stability. In our story, the United States is using tariffs on a very advanced and strategic product: artificial intelligence chips. These chips are at the heart of cutting-edge technology and innovation. These aren't just toys or gadgets. They're the brains behind next-generation robotics, smart devices, and powerful computers that drive the digital economy. By taxing these high-tech imports, the U.S. hopes to control not just the price, but the direction and future of this crucial industry, ensuring that innovation and production stay within its borders. This isn't just about making things more expensive. It's about shaping where these chips are designed, built, and who gets to lead in the global technology race. In this context, tariffs become a powerful tool for governments to influence the global tech landscape, protect their interests, and even steer the future of entire industries. The U.S.'s new 25% tariff on advanced AI chips is a calculated move, not a random act. This decision is part of a broader strategy to shape the future of technology and protect American interests in a rapidly changing world. The stakes are high, and the U.S. government is making it clear that it's willing to take bold steps to secure its position. The main reason? National security. Officials worry that if the U.S. relies too much on foreign-made AI chips, it could become vulnerable to supply chain disruptions or even sabotage. In a world where technology is at the heart of both economic power and military strength, control over these chips is seen as essential. The U.S. wants to lead in AI technology and avoid dependence on foreign-made chips. By investing in domestic production, the country hopes to foster innovation, create high-tech jobs, and ensure that critical infrastructure is protected from foreign influence. These chips power everything from military systems to economic innovation. They're found in advanced weapons, autonomous vehicles, data centers, and even the devices we use every day. Losing access to them could have far-reaching consequences for national defense and the economy. By making imports more expensive, the U.S. is pushing companies to build factories at home, a strategy called reassuring. This not only strengthens the domestic supply chain, but also reduces the risk of foreign interference or shortages during global crises. Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick even warned of 100% tariffs for companies that don't invest in U.S. production. The message is clear. The government expects tech giants and manufacturers to commit to American soil if they want to avoid steep penalties. The January 2026 announcement followed a 9-month investigation, concluding that reliance on imported AI chips is a security risk. The findings highlighted how global tensions and supply chain vulnerabilities could threaten America's technological edge. This tariff is a declaration. The U.S. intends to control its technological destiny. By taking decisive action now, the government hopes to set the stage for long-term leadership in AI and advanced computing. The goal is clear: bring chip manufacturing back to American soil and secure the nation's future. In the race for technological supremacy, the U.S. is making sure it's not left behind. The new tariff isn't blanket. It targets the most advanced AI chips, specifically from Nvidia and AMD. Chips like Nvidia's H200 and AMD's MI325X are designed for data centers and supercomputers, not everyday devices. These chips drive the AI revolution, powering breakthroughs in science and business. While Nvidia and AMD design them, manufacturing happens mostly in Taiwan and South Korea. So, when these chips are imported back to the US, the tariff kicks in, encouraging future production to move stateside. Some exemptions exist for consumer and startup uses, but the focus is on the high-stakes data center market. The message, control over elite AI chips, is a top national priority. After the U.S. announced its new tariffs, South Korea's response was calm and analytical. Trade Minister Yeo Han-koo reassured the public that the immediate impact on Korean companies would be limited. The reason? The tariffs target a narrow category of AI chips, not the memory chips that are South Korea's main export. Samsung and SK Hynix, Korea's giants, dominate memory, not the AI processors in question. The government's fact-based approach helped prevent market panic and allowed businesses to keep operating smoothly. This measured response reflects Korea's experience navigating global trade shifts. The government's message: stay alert, but there's no crisis yet. For now, Korea's tech industry remains steady, even as it watches for what comes next. South Korea's composure in the face of global semiconductor tensions comes from its industry's unique focus, primarily on memory chips, rather than the AI processors that are currently at the center of trade disputes. While the world's attention is fixed on advanced processors powering artificial intelligence, South Korea has quietly built its dominance in a different, but equally vital, segment of the chip market. Samsung and SK Hynix are global leaders in DRAM and NAND flash memory, components that are essential for everything from smartphones and laptops to data centers and electric vehicles. Their expertise and scale have made South Korea the world's memory chip powerhouse, supplying the backbone for modern electronics. These memory chips, which have been specifically excluded from the latest U.S. tariffs, form the backbone of Korea's export economy. Billions of dollars worth of chips leave Korean ports each year, fueling the global tech ecosystem. While AI processors are responsible for the thinking and complex calculations in devices, memory chips handle the crucial tasks of data storage and rapid access, two very different but complementary roles in any electronic system. The U.S. government deliberately left memory chips out of its latest restrictions, effectively shielding Korea's largest chip makers from immediate harm and ensuring the steady flow of critical components to global manufacturers. Years of heavy investment in memory technology and manufacturing have given South Korea both leverage and a degree of insulation from the current trade dispute. This strategic focus has paid off, allowing the country to weather international tensions with relative stability. If memory chips were to become targets of trade restrictions, the global technology supply chain would face massive disruption, potentially halting production for countless products worldwide. For now, the U.S. is avoiding this scenario, recognizing the risks involved. Although South Korea is gradually expanding its logic chip business, which includes processors and other advanced chips, the majority of its revenue and global influence still comes from memory chips, an area that remains largely untouched by current trade measures. For now, South Korea's semiconductor industry breathes a cautious sigh of relief, knowing its core business remains secure, but also aware that the landscape could shift with future policy changes. Despite initial relief, uncertainty lingers in Korea's tech sector. Many fear this is just the first round. Future U.S. tariffs could target memory chips, Korea's main export. Trade Minister Yeo Han-koo warned, "It's not time to relax. The U.S. wants to reshore the entire chip supply chain, and national security definitions can change. If memory chips are deemed a risk, a new investigation could trigger devastating tariffs for Korea." U.S. officials have threatened even higher tariffs for companies not investing in U.S. production. Korean firms now face tough choices: build costly U.S. factories or risk future penalties. This uncertainty forces companies to plan for multiple scenarios, adding complexity and cost. The calm in Seoul is fragile, Everyone's watching for the next move. Trade Minister Yeo Han-koo's message was clear. Stay vigilant. He urged both the public and industry leaders to avoid complacency, stressing that the situation is fluid. The government is actively monitoring U.S. policy and trade data, ready to respond to any changes. Yeo's warning was a call for companies to prepare contingency plans for tougher times ahead. Diplomatic engagement with the U.S. is ongoing, as Korea argues that disrupting memory chip trade would hurt both economies. Behind the scenes, officials are working to influence U.S. policy before new measures are set. This approach balances stability with readiness, keeping both government and industry alert. The message, we're in this together, and must remain watchful. It's prudent leadership for an era of economic nationalism. The Korean government isn't leaving its tech industry to face these challenges alone. Trade Minister Yeo Han-koo emphasized a close partnership with major corporations like Samsung and SK Hynix. Regular meetings ensure information flows both ways. Government shares diplomatic insights. Companies share market realities. This united front strengthens Korea's position in negotiations with the U.S. The government also supports companies in navigating U.S. trade law and seeking tariff exemptions. Together, they're planning for the future, diversifying supply chains, investing in R&D, and considering overseas production. The threat of tariffs is pushing both sides to accelerate innovation and resilience. The goal: keep Korea indispensable in the global tech landscape. Tariffs and chip wars may seem distant, but they affect daily life in South Korea. The semiconductor industry is the backbone of the economy. If it suffers, so do jobs and growth. Small businesses in the supply chain are especially vulnerable to any downturn. Uncertainty makes it hard for companies to plan, invest, or hire, creating a cautious economic climate. For ordinary citizens, it's a reminder of how global politics can impact their livelihoods. While the immediate effect is limited, the threat of expanded tariffs could dampen consumer confidence. The government's calm, vigilant approach is key to weathering this storm. For now, South Koreans watch and wait, hoping strategy and diplomacy will keep their economy strong.